attendees in. So the recording has started. Right now it's just us 5, but hopefully we'll have some students join soon.
Okay. And if in the chance that nobody joins, we're still recording this anyway, so.
Yep, sounds good.
Laura, is my camera turned off now or?
It's off. We just see your name.
So it's good, right?
Well, your name is good.
Okay, that's what you wanted, right? Turn it off, right?
No, turn your camera on right now.
Oh, okay.
You can, so turn your camera on, and then when I starting the presentation, after I introduce you, you can turn your camera off, but then when you're speaking, turn your camera back on.
We have one guest with us now, so we'll give it a few more minutes and we'll get started right at 2:30.
That's fine.
I'm excited myself to learn more about Olivet.
Levon, I keep looking at the bottom of the screen and I'm seeing your apps, you know, your apps at the bottom. I'm like, oh my gosh, because I keep looking, I'm like, wow, what did I add? And it's yours.
Yeah,
So.
awesome. Are you, it looks like you all are working from home.
I am. Kayla's not. Kimberly's not. Although it looks like Kimberly's working in like a room of sheer darkness. She's not. Just her camera's not on. And Tiffany, are you at home office today or office still?
Usually I'm in the office, but today I'm in my home office because I actually had car problems.
Oh. And Kayla's in the office with what looks like a comfy office chair.
Pardon?
Oh, I said her office chair looks comfy. Leather?
Yeah, it does look comfy. Did you steal that from? Oh, she's on her phone. I was going to ask her if she stole that from somebody else's office. But.
I stole my office chair from somebody's office when they left. Their chair's better than mine.
That's usually, I mean, but that's usually how the good chairs, you know, end up in your office. So.
Am I able to run to Kimberly's office real quick to help her out?
Yes.
Be right back.
No problem.
Thank you, Kayla. Are you hearing me fine?
Yes.
Okay.
All right, we'll get started in 1 minute.
Okay. Well, if we end up seeing Kimberly, then we know that Kayla was successful. So
Yeah. Maybe they'll switch offices.
yeah. Or maybe Kimberly's just going to come to Kayla's office. I don't know.
All right, it is 2:30 on the dot. Welcome to the virtual college exploration for Illinois students, sponsored by the Illinois Association for College Admissions Counseling and StriveScan. Thank you for joining us. My name is Levon Robinson. I am a volunteer with IACAC. A few housekeeping announcements before we get started. You can use the Q&A button on your screen to type in any questions to our presenters at any time. The camera and microphone are off, so the panelists cannot see or hear you. This is just one of many sessions that are happening. Be sure to check out the full schedule at IACAC.org. We'll be doing this for, I believe, one more day. The presentation is being recorded and will be available within about a week at the same website, IACAC.org. All right, I'm going to turn it over to our presenters to start the presentation.
Great, thank you, Levon. I'm going to share my screen, hopefully successfully. Great. Well, thank you. Welcome to Olivet Nazarene University's info session. My name is Laura Dreyer. I'm the transfer coordinator here at Olivet. Also with me today, presenting with me today are Kimberly Strickland. Kimberly, you can wave. Kimberly is our Director of New Student Financial Aid. We also have Kayla Craftsman, our transfer advisor and also IT person extraordinaire. And we also have Tiffany Houlihan, who's our Director of Academic Partnerships. We're very happy to be with you today. We're just going to spend a few minutes giving you some information about Olivet Nazarene University. So first off, our school is located in Bourbonnais, Illinois, which is about 45 miles from Chicago. We were founded in 1907, which makes us 113 years old. Right now, our school has it has 5,000 students. About 2,900 to 3,000 of those are traditional campus undergraduate students. The rest are graduate students, and we also have some accelerated specific bachelor's completion programs that are online. So that makes up the other 2,000 of those students. We are a private university. We have, over the years, we've graduated over 40,000 people. We have 140 areas of study. So there's many majors that you can choose from. And also our students are encouraged to pick up multiple minors as well. We have a 15-to-1 student to faculty ratio, which is great. So also all of our classes are faculty taught. So there's no teaching assistants. 96% career outcomes after your first 6 months of graduation. So that's a really good outcome rate. And also really important for you to know is 99.5% of our students receive some sort of financial aid. We have 22 intercollegiate athletic teams. We used to only have 21, and this year we just introduced men's volleyball, so which is really cool. We also have intramural sports, really fun to get involved with. We have 90 plus clubs and organizations. Some of these clubs, like in our business department, will actually compete intercollegiately. So great things to get involved in. We have 500 School of Music students. Just to give you a fun fact about our marching band has marched in the inaugural presidential inaugural parade. They also were in Rome this past New Year's and marched basically in downtown Rome. We have 21 study abroad opportunities, and also we are a private Christian university. So we also do have 17 local ministry and global mission trip opportunities as well. An important thing as well is we also offer over 800 campus jobs per year. And also, I know Tiffany's going to touch on this later in the presentation, but we just wanted to let you know our campus is open right now. Students are living on campus. They are going to physical classrooms, socially distanced, of course. Everybody's masking up. It's actually very safe to be on our campus right now. Our active COVID rate, I think, is actually at 0.2% at this moment. But we do have students going to in-person classes. We have some hybrid classes going on. And right now we do have some totally online classes as well. So 2020, this auspicious year, we did have 619 people graduate with their bachelor's degrees. And just to point out personally, I am one of the 613 people that graduated with their master's degree from Olivet this year. I got my MBA, so yay me. We have some notable alumni. You can see this on the screen. I just thought I would personally point out to you at the bottom, the U.S. Secret Service, White House, Washington, D.C. Actually, that person was in my graduate school cohort, and he was one of my classmates, and it was really neat. Basically, he could tell us nothing about his job, but it was still really cool to know that somebody who was in our criminal justice undergraduate program was now working for the Secret Service. Also, our music school is really renowned. So we do have a soloist with the Metropolitan Opera in New York City. Some really great renowned alumni. Internships, which are really important. They really do help you towards getting, a job after school as well. So you can see, I mean, some really cool internships there. NASA, the Chicago Shakespeare Theater, Disney's big. We also have had people intern with the Chicago Bears and the Indianapolis Colts. And we actually do have, if you're interested, we do have a video of the person who had interned with the Indianapolis Colts about her experience. So most of our majors require internships. Just a fun fact about our business department, we actually have a full-time staff member whose job is to connect each business student with an internship. So some basic transfer information. As of this May, we now accept up to 82 transfer credit hours. So we accept a lot of your former collegiate credits towards your bachelor's degree here at Olivet. Another great fun fact about us is we're rated in the top 5 private Christian universities for the number of transfer students. And in that 5, 3 of those are right on the Southern California coastline. So I thought that was great representation for us for the Midwest to be part of that top 5. So now I'm going to turn the presentation over to Kimberly Strickland, who is our Director of Financial Aid. Kimberly, I will drive if you want to tell me when to move the car. I'd be happy to move the slides for you.
Okay, perfect. Thank you, Laura. Absolutely. So now we'll talk about financial aid. You can go to the next slide. Thank you.
Okay.
Here we have Olivet Nazarene University's freshman scholarships for the 2021-22 school year. So that starts next fall. The presidential scholarship up to $25,000 for the year. The leadership scholarship up to $17,500, and the ONU grant up to $16,000. In addition to academic awards, ONU freshmen may also be eligible for athletic, art, music, and ROTC scholarships. So those can be stacked with those academic awards. And I just want to point out that Olivet is not just a first-year scholarshiping school. We are committed to our students. So our scholarships are renewable every year up to 4 years. So that's for the freshman scholarships. There's also, we have a campus visit scholarship this year, $1,000 in addition to these scholarship amounts. So as you can see, ONU is really, really serious about helping our students afford a private Christian education. We always recommend outside scholarships. And in order for students to receive a customized financial aid award offer, we ask that, well, you have to be accepted to ONU, and we ask that you list us on your Fafsa. Our school code is 001741. Okay, and then that's on your 2021-22 Fafsa. So that's for new freshman students. Okay, Laura, thank you. Okay, here we have our ONU transfer scholarships for 2021-22. You can see on the left, the collegiate PG put a grade point average. I almost said, oh, so funny. Grade point average, so 3.5 to 4.0. If you're transferring in 0 to 30 credits, 16,500, and then 31 hours or more, look at that scholarship, $18,500. And the list goes on. Feel free to take a picture of your screen right now. We're very proud of our scholarships. Phi Theta Kappa students are automatically eligible for an additional $2,000 per year. So we also have what's called a campus visit scholarship for transfer students, and that is $1,000 per year. So in addition to academic awards, ONU transfer students may also be eligible for the athletic, the art, and music awards, as well as ROTC scholarships. So, and some need-based funding. So we are really committed to our students financially. We would love to have conversation with you, go over your financial aid offer with you, and definitely keep talking through having you succeed financially here at ONU. All right, Laura, thank you. Financial aid. Okay, so we're asking that students submit their FAFSAs, their 2021-22 FAFSAs. And the website is, well, first you're going to need an FSA ID in order to submit the FAFSA. The website for FSA ID, that is fsaid.ed.gov. So that's like a signature for the FAFSA. You will not be able to submit the FAFSA without the student having an FSA ID. And if the student is a dependent, they have to have a parent who has an FSA ID as well. So you can jump over there and get your FSA IDs now. My best recommendation is that you make sure you write your FSA IDs down somewhere safe, because you will need to refer back to them all the way through the financial aid process. All right, and then you'll be on to the FAFSA. The FAFSA website is fafsa.ed.gov. That's the FAFSA website. It will redirect you to studentaid.gov, but you'll be in the right place. Please add our school code to your FAFSA. Olivet Nazarene University, our school code is 001741. And we will begin mailing out our financial aid offers for the fall semester, fall of 2021. We'll begin mailing those award offers out November 5th and every day after that until every student is awarded for next fall. But for the coming spring semester, we are now mailing those. So if you're thinking to start in spring 21 with us this coming January, we're mailing those financial aid offers out now. For those offers, you would use your 2020-2021 FAFSA and just list our school code on there and make sure you're accepted to ONU, and we'll be sending those out right away. Thank you. Thanks, Laura. All right, this is an example of our financial aid offer, the way they look currently. They're currently getting a facelift, but is how it'll look for the spring semester. So at the top left, you'll see tuition and fees, room and board for on-campus students, and that gives you your total direct cost. Well, then we're going to jump down below that double line in that big white box, and that's how we began pulling away from that direct cost number. So you'll see there under merit-based, the scholarship or grant, ONU grant total $17,500. And then down below that is everything that the student qualifies for based on their FAFSA. So you've got the state of Illinois MAP grant for Illinois residents who qualify, total $5,340. You've got the federal Pell Grant and the maximum amount $6,345 total. You've got the supplemental grant for $1,000. Then there's the ONU Bridge Grant, and then the Olivet First Step, and then there's the federal direct Stafford loan program. So those loans are in the student's name only. So when we look down below that bold line, we see the total aid that the student has, $43,685. And when we compare that to the cost, their only remaining direct cost for the year is $3,245. That's pretty incredible for a Christian private education. So college, higher education. Amen. All right. Next in that box, that purple box just below there, it talks about for families who do choose to borrow, you can actually borrow more than your remaining direct cost up to this amount for covering things like books, transportation, or computers. All right. That's a sample of a freshman financial aid offer. Next screen. This is actually how you read your financial aid offer. So there's instructions on the back for how to actually read it and what everything means. So that's definitely good to take a look at. We recommend that you read that closely. Okay, Laura? All right, this is a freshman financial aid offer, an example of one for a student who is not living on campus. So you'll notice room and board says 0 there. Their total direct cost is listed there. And then you'll see in the big white space there how we began pulling away from the direct cost. Look at that one, guys. Just below that bold line, $37,385 in student aid. A difference from the direct cost of only $55 for the whole year. So that's pretty incredible. We are serious about helping our students financially at OU. Okay, next, Laura. This is an example of a transfer financial aid offer. Again, over in the left, you see the tuition and fees listed, and then room and board is listed, the students planning to live on campus, and the total direct cost, $46,930. All right, so then you notice under merit-based, again, this is how we began pulling away from that direct cost number. ONU grant, $19,500. Phi Theta Kappa, there it is, $2,000. And then below, you see the need-based aid. This is everything as a result of the Fafsa. So when we go down below the bold line here, look at that total. $43,685 the student has towards their direct costs, a difference of $3,245. Incredible. All right. Next slide, please. And again, this is, okay, great, thank you. And this is a transfer student, a sample financial aid offer of a student who was not planning to live on campus. So actually here, their direct cost is listed there. And then we see their ONU grant, we see Phi Theta Kappa listed total. And then we go down to need-based aid. So they're still getting State of Illinois MAP grant. They're still getting the Pell grant. They've got some bridge grant there. And then they've got their Stafford loans. So look at that. If they were to borrow all of their Stafford loan, they would actually have more than they would need to cover their cost at ONU. So spectacular. All right. Thank you, Laura.
Thank you so much, Kimberly. And now we're going to turn it over to Kayla, who's going to talk to you about the admissions process.
Thanks, Laura. Yeah, like Laura said, my name is Kayla Craftsman. I'm one of our transfer advisors here. This is my 3rd year in admissions. So my first 2 years, I worked with our incoming freshmen. So I'll touch a little bit on our incoming freshman checklist and our incoming transfer student admissions checklist. We'll start with the freshmen. So one of the first steps in the admissions process with us here at Olivet is applying for admission. So you can do that on our website at olivet.edu/apply. It's completely free. It takes only about 10 minutes to complete, and that's the first step. Once you've done that, you'll want to send us your high school transcripts. And if you've happened to take the ACT or SAT, you can send us that as well. It can only benefit you when it comes to receiving an academic scholarship. We are going test optional for fall 2021. But like I said, if you've taken it, it can only help you. We do look for a 2.0 here. and an 18 on the ACT, which is an equivalent to a 960 on the SAT. But on average, we see about a 3.2 GPA coming in and about 24 on the ACT, which is like an 1160 on the SAT. We do also have some opportunities for students who might dip a little bit below that. So if that might be you, just let us know and we can definitely have a conversation moving forward. But once we have your application, we have your transcripts, and if you've taken your test, we'll be able to review you for acceptance to the university. Starting to look at those outside scholarships, like Kimberly had touched on with financial aid. There are some websites that you can go to, but even more so looking within your community at local banks, Rotary clubs, those types of things. There is millions of dollars that go to waste each year because people just don't ask. You will receive your academic scholarship per year, but anything you get outside of the university will also stack upon that. So you definitely want to make sure to do that. A lot of those deadlines will come up in December and January, so you want to look at that right away. Filing your FAFSA, also as Kimberly touched on, starting October 1st. Once you've been accepted to the university, we've received your FAFSA, we'll be able to send you a financial aid offer letter in the mail pretty quick. If you visited a few schools, you visited Olivet, or even if Olivet's just in your top 2 to 3 schools, your next step after you've been accepted would be submitting your $200 enrollment deposit. So a few benefits of what that looks like. When you place your enrollment deposit, it's not an extra fee, it's not an empty fee, it'll go towards any remaining direct costs that you have. So it's kind of like a first payment in a way. It'll also secure your spot in the freshman class. It'll secure your spot when it comes to picking out your dorm room, signing up for your classes, and really just lock in your financial aid offer. Right now, we also have what we call early action going on. So if you decide you want to submit your enrollment deposit by November 30th, we've got a few cool gifts for you to choose from. And one of those is an Olivet branded Yeti. So don't want to miss out on that. Next, we'll talk about transfer admissions a little bit. It's very, very similar to our freshmen. Again, the first step is applying for admission. Again, it takes our transfer students about 10 minutes, completely free. You can do that on our website as well. If you are a transfer student and you've taken less than 16 credit hours, we will need your high school transcripts and your test score if you happen to take that. If you've taken 16 hours and above, we'll just need your college transcripts after you've sent in your application. Once we have those items from you, again, we'll be able to review you for official acceptance to the university. And you'll also want to be looking outside for scholarships. You will receive an academic scholarship based on your GPA and how many hours you've taken. But anything you get outside of the university can also be stacked upon that as well. For our transfer students, also filing your FAFSA starting October 1st. Now, if you're looking to start in the spring semester, you'll want to make sure to file for the 2020-2021 school year. And if you're looking to start in the fall, you'll want to file for the 2021-2022 school year. So just make note of that. And submitting the $200 enrollment deposit works very similar for our transfer students also. It's going to lock your spot into the transfer class, give you priority when it comes to picking housing, scheduling your classes, and really locking in your financial aid offer also. Our transfer students can also be a part of early action. So if you decide to do that, we've got a few neat gifts for you to choose from also. Thanks, Laura.
Great, thank you, Kayla. And now Tiffany is going to share some information of what's going on campus right now and some connection information as well.
There. Thank you, Kayla and Laura. As Laura mentioned earlier in the presentation, our campus is open, and there are 3 ways that you can visit campus. You can do a personalized in-person visit Monday through Friday, any day of the week. Well, I should say Monday through Thursday, any day of the week. You can also do a purple and gold day, which is what we call our Friday visits. There's a little more fun party atmosphere to that day. And then you can also do a virtual visit, and the virtual visit is entirely online. You can take an online campus tour as well as schedule a meeting with either a freshman counselor or a transfer advisor, as well as a visit with a financial aid counselor. So a few different ways to visit. With COVID, we are masking up. We are socially distancing. Campus is open. So a few ways that we have expanded our space is that we're using every possible building that we have, as well as every room that we have on campus. We've also increased our outdoor space. So we've added more tables, chairs, areas for outdoor living. We've also included a tent that is an addition to our cafeteria spaces so that you can eat outside and do things outside. So we are definitely COVID prepared. We are taking your safety and our safety into account, but we are continuing our offerings. And as Laura had mentioned earlier, we have hybrid classes, which is where you might be in class 1 or 2 days a week, and then the rest of the time be online. You would also be in person. We have in-person fully classes. Those are specifically science and math at this time. And then we do have some completely online offerings. So we are moving through this COVID pandemic, and we are doing well. You can switch slide, Laura. Here, if you'd like to follow us on some social media, Life at Olivet or at Olivet Nazarene University, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Please go to those sites, follow us. There's a lot of good content. You'll get a glimpse at what life at Olivet is like. Also our athletics. We have an athletic department that currently a men's soccer game is going on right now. So you can keep up on all of those updates as well by following us on social media. And then here is our contact information. We want to get connected with you. As mentioned earlier, Laura started off on our presentation, so her contact information is there. She specializes with transfer students. You'll see my contact information next, and I'm happy to help in any aspect. So freshman transfer, and then Kayla is our transfer advisor, and then Kimberly is our financial aid guru. So please feel free, any one of us will be able to help you. And if we can't personally help you, we will connect you to who can. That is all for our formal presentation. It looks like we do have just a little bit of time for questions. If anyone has any questions, please let us know. We'd be happy to answer those for you. Thank you for your time today and for joining our session.
Yes, thank you so much. I'm going to stop sharing our screen. And if anybody does have questions, we'd be happy to answer them. You just put them into the chat. I'm not showing anything in the chat. So I'll give a couple minutes for some questions. Actually, Kayla, if you want to come online right now, because Kayla actually was an Olivet student and actually an Olivet student athlete as well. So maybe you can tell us a little bit about your experience. Tell us, I think you came in as an incoming freshman, correct?
Correct.
And what sport did you compete in?
I played for our women's basketball team.
Okay, great. Well, why don't you tell us about what your admissions experience was like and what it was like living and growing at Olivet?
Yeah. Well, I know I'm sitting down. First of all, I'm about 5'11", so that definitely helps out when you're playing basketball for sure. But yeah, I had actually never heard of Olivet Nazarene University before. I was playing for a club team out in Cincinnati, Ohio, and Coach Lauren Stamatis at the time, now Glenn, was out there. It was a big recruiting activity or event, and she saw myself and one of my friends who actually became my teammate here at Olivet, so we came to play together. It was an incredible experience to say the least. I actually didn't really grow up in a Christian home, so all of Olivet was a little bit new for me, a little bit nerve-wracking to be totally honest, but the way that like coaches came alongside me, staff here in admissions came alongside me, my professors, faculty, staff, I mean, everybody, just made me feel so welcomed and so loved right where I was at. I think the unique thing about athletics for me was it kind of established a nice community already coming in, especially for an introvert like me. It was nice to have that. Obviously, being a student athlete, you kind of have to really learn how to manage your time and balance. Occasionally, you'll miss classes, not too often, but occasionally. So our faculty, my professors, they worked extremely well when it came to missing class, making sure I was caught up on my assignments, all of those types of things. So overall, I mean, I had an incredible experience. I'm still here today, so must have meant something.
Great. And so I know when you're in the admissions process, everybody, well, regardless if they're an incoming freshman or a transfer student, you get an admissions advisor. You're one of our transfer advisors. But once you're a student, is it your faculty who becomes your advisors?
Yep. So we work very closely with you all throughout the admissions process. Once you become a student here, you will be paired up with an academic advisor within your area of study. So if you decide to study psychology like me, you would be paired up with Dr. Lisa Gassett over in our psychology department. And so she walked very closely with me throughout the rest of my time. We have the power to, create our class schedules, pick the classes we'll take, and then they get to sign off on it to make sure that we're on track for graduation, which is very comforting, especially if you're a first generation graduate like me, didn't really know exactly how to do all of that. So.
Great. Well, thank you for sharing. And since I'm having a lot of fun putting people on the spot, Tiffany, I know that you are actually an Olivet parent right now. If you want to share a little bit about your experience with having your own Olivetian in the house.
Absolutely. It is an interesting year having a freshman enter school for the college for the first time. He actually is a basketball player, so that's another level of things going on for him this year. He is an engineering major, so he is really enjoying his time in his classes because it is science and math heavy. He is in person more than he is online right now. And the classes are socially distant. They're wearing masks. He is living on campus in a dorm room. So that is going well. He is, bringing home his laundry as a true freshman boy would, I guess, that lives close to where he's going to school. But he is enjoying his time. He's meeting new people. He really loves his teammates on the basketball team. We're hoping that there is a season. I think the first game is in a few weeks here. So very exciting indeed.
Great. Thank you for sharing. Actually, I'm going to go back to our PowerPoint and share just some fun pictures because Kayla went through the trouble of finding them for me. I thought I would share them. And Kayla, if you want to pipe in as I show these, just our campus life pictures right here. Let me go back. I just want to point out, this is our rock climbing wall. This is a really cool thing. It's not too many schools have this, and I think we are the second highest climbing wall in the US. I think it's Texas A&M. It's a Texas school for sure that has beat us, I think, by 2 or 3 feet. So, but this is a really cool, I think this has been, what is this, 4 years old maybe?
The rec center was brand new my freshman year, so I came in 2013.
Okay, so it's 7 years old. So I'm older, so the years just kind of blend together. But But this is a really neat thing. Students love climbing it. It's actually a really fun thing to show people when they come to campus for the first time too. Another thing we have is, let's see if I don't think I have a picture of it, but another thing we have sports, like Kayla had said, she played women's basketball. Tiffany's son plays men's basketball. Here we have swimming. And we also have, I might have it later on in the pictures, but we do have, it's not for our swimming team, but we do have a fun, lazy river, which actually sits right next to, well, not right next to, but you can see it from the climbing wall. So that students enjoy that. It's a really fun thing to have on campus. We have a football team. And I think the football has been pushed to spring, I think, like most schools. So we're excited to get them back out there competing again. Here's our basketball, and our basketball court, I think, was just, it wouldn't be called repaved. What do you call it when you redo a basketball floor? Re-waxed, repainted?
Newly renovated.
we redid it. That's what we did. We redid it. And you'll see women's volleyball there. And our teams are really competitive. We compete in the NAIA, and we're also considered Division III in the NCAA, correct?
We're part of the NAIA and the CCAC.
The CCAC, I'm sorry.
Yep.
Sometimes I get my C's all screwed up. Sorry. Okay, campus life. Here's just some pictures we found from the dorms because people want to know what's it like, to live in a dorm. Here's a bunch of guys hanging around playing. I don't know. I'm thinking it's probably Settlers of Catan or something like that. But this is I don't know if this is a men's or a women's room. It doesn't look that pretty, so I'm thinking it's probably a guy's room. Is that the consensus? Okay. And just for you transfer students to know, we actually house our transfer students together so that you have that sense of community, knowing your needs are different than, an incoming freshman. And we want you to have that community coming in. Now, of course, if you have a friend who's already living on campus and you want to live with them, we're going to honor that. But just so you know this, that we do take the effort with transfer students to help just kind of bridge that gap for you. Here's some more fun pictures. This one is from one of our musical reviews. Or was this from Ollie's Follies? I don't know.
One of the two. Okay,
well, Ollie's Follies is a fun thing that we do every year. I don't think we're not doing it this year, or didn't do it this year because of COVID, but it's all the classes put together performances. It's a really fun time. Here was this, I can't remember what this was. Was this like an iTunes party, or everybody was listening to their own music and dancing to their own music or something like that?
Yeah, that was our newest event, which we started last year. So that was called Silent Disco, and they plan on bringing it back. Yep, everybody has their own headphone set, and they get to listen to music, have a good time. Obviously, there's a ton of glow sticks and everything, so.
Gotcha. And here's the I love the 80s because these girls obviously went to high school with me. So let's see. Oh, internships. We do we have time? We can actually show Jen's. I think we have, what do we have? 5 more minutes or so? Yeah, we can start to show Jen's thing, and then Levon, if we happen to go over time, we can cut this off. So no problem here. But just to kind of give you a taste of what it was like for Jen when she interned for the Indianapolis Colts back in, she graduated in 2012. So I think it might have been that year or the year before.
I was hired as a marketing intern in April of 2012, and I was hired with the intent of taking over a marketing coordinator position because that individual is going out on maternity leave. So it was very strategic planning. She was only here for 2 games, so I had 8 out of the 10 games for the 2012 season. Hi, my name is Jenny Anderson, and I am interning with the Premium Seating Services Department with the Indianapolis Colts. I studied corporate communication at Olivet, but my degree, just focusing on that, prepared me for this experience just by requiring us to do an internship, which gave me that real world application and experience to do hands-on learning. And one of those ways was with the class I took, senior seminar. One of our assignments actually introduced me to my gateway into the Colts. I just started rubbing elbows with everybody I could here at the Colts and fell in love with the city and football. I handled everything from game day entertainment. Some of the things that were in between those duties and responsibilities were the national anthem artist, which is probably my favorite, and then our halftime coordination. The biggest thing I learned with the Colts was how to problem solve quickly while maintaining a professional demeanor, just because I can tend to stress over the little things. So when a pipe bursts in exhibit hall 1, you can't freak out and you can't cry and you can't call your mom and you have to maintain face. So I think working with the Colts really taught me to not sweat the small stuff, and that as much as you want to prepare and plan, there are going to be some things that are out of your control and that you can't really anticipate. My advice for future or current interns that are entering the workforce, just to get a little taste, I think you should look at it as an audition. And I think every internship should be a place where you can be a sponge and really absorb the information and be proactive and want it, because as an intern who might want to eventually work here, and you're not raising your hand first when there's an opportunity for you to help, and you're not coming early or staying late every once in a while, they're going to see that translate into your work. So I would say definitely when choosing an internship that you should choose something that's relevant. Don't just do it to get the credit or a pass-fail or just graduation meeting requirements. I would say do something that you're passionate about, because then it doesn't feel like an internship or work.
All right, great. I'm going to stop sharing the screen. Again, you know, if you didn't feel like asking a question or whatever, you can always contact us at our contact information. We're really grateful that you guys joined us today for our presentation. Again, please reach out. Hopefully you took a picture of that screen and that Tiffany shared. And we just thank you for your time today.
Thank you for joining us. When you close this window, there will be a link to a very quick 4-question survey. We'd appreciate any feedback you can provide. As a reminder, we have sessions going on for the rest of the day, and tomorrow you can check them out on IACAC.org. In about a week, you'll be able to find this session's recording and other sessions recordings at IACAC.org. Thank you.